Alrighty, what's up, everyone? This is a new episode of Sports Harder coming at you live on May the 26th, 2021. And as always, I am your host, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, and my co host is Chris the Gorilla Binder.
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. Been busy, man.
Busy.
Not like you having a baby and all, but just working.
This is true. Baby Zoe now in our awesome lives. And, as always on the podcast, everyone has to have some sort of nickname or a catchy thing. So I thought the most appropriate one would be Zoe the Zamboni Himmelwright. So keep the Z's going,
Your wife just kind of looked up like, why you call my kid fat?
No, I'd never do that. She's just a chunky monkey. See, I did that just to rile her up, but we have a great episode. It's been a while, and so we have a lot of different playoffs to talk about. Some NFL stuff, of course, as always. I think what we'll do is we'll start with NFL news and what's been going on, just because we can get that out of the way, and then kind of focus on NBA playoffs and hockey playoffs. So to start off with what's going down, which officially happened today, Adam Vinatieri, if I said that right, the kicker for the Colts, and he was the famous kicker for the Patriots that won them multiple Super Bowls from field goal kicks, has officially retired, and he is the leading scorer like in points with field goals in NFL history. So a little bit about his career, how you felt about him. I mean, I'm a little biased because I hated him as a Patriot, obviously, but can't deny his talent, leading scorer in the NFL. How do you feel about him retiring and his career overall?
I honestly expect him to retire either this year or next year. I mean, the dude's like 43, 44 years old, still an accurate kicker, but he's like, the guys coming up are a lot more accurate than he is. He's kind of lost a little bit of his leg strength and time, so he's not kicking like the 55 plus anymore. But I mean, yeah, you got to give him credit. I mean, the dude, he won Super Bowls. He freaking one of the greatest kickers of all time, like if not the greatest, since he leads points in NFL history. So, but I don't think he's the most accurate of all time.
Yeah, I think isn't Justin Tucker the most accurate right now?
Right now, yeah.
So do you see Justin maybe sneaking up and taking that points title from him towards the end of his career?
He could, because the Ravens like to score a lot. So, I mean, with Lamar, they get into the red zone a lot. So, whether it's Lamar running or their actual offense steps up a little bit. Like, I still won't give Lamar the benefit of him being an accurate thrower, because he's not. He's Jamarcus Russell as far as accuracy, but everything else around him is good. So, I mean, he's terrible quarterback. He's great.
Speaking of Lamar Jackson, and since you brought him up, I wasn't really going to mention it, but now that you mentioned his name, they're in talks still about trying to extend him in Baltimore, trying to extend his contract. I guess he was saying that he feels confident that a deal will get done or something will be made. Do you feel that it's going to be like one of those Patrick Mahomes type of extensions, or like where you see it, landing at?
He's going to be north of 30 million, but I don't think he's going to be at 40 million. I think Dak and him are really the only two that are there at 40 million. Maybe Dak and Mahomes, that is, even though Dak really didn't earn it. But Lamar's done more than he has. At least Lamar's had an MVP. So
at least he has that under his belt, and he's taken them to the playoffs. So
But I mean, Dak's taking the Cowboys to the playoffs too. But Dak's
Yeah,
taking
but
the Cowboys.
let's look at the divisions. Let's look at the
Yeah.
divisions for
But
that.
Dak's made it to the playoffs with a losing record, where Lamar dominated.
Yeah.
So no, I don't see him getting 40 million. I see him getting probably upwards of like 35, 37. The Ravens have always been kind of greedy. Like when they paid Flacco, they didn't make him the highest paid quarterback, even though he was a Super Bowl MVP. He won the Super Bowl with them. They still didn't make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
That's true. The quarterback that they won the Super Bowl with the first time when they had that great defense, what was it, Dilfer?
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. And then they let him go the next season. They didn't even keep him on the team. They cut him.
Yeah.
Like he helped them win a Super Bowl and they cut him. Like it just blew my mind.
Well, Flacco won a Super Bowl, and like 2 years later, they drafted Lamar. It's like, what are you guys doing? You guys have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. They haven't been the most what do you call it? I don't want to say confident. What is it? Like they don't put as much trust like in their quarterbacks or whatever. There's no like loyalty. Like they're just like, okay, well, we got what we wanted out of you. Now we're moving on type of thing.
That's pretty much how the Ravens are. Like they spend their money on their defense. There's a reason they have a top defense every single year. They're top 5 to top 10 every single year.
Yeah.
But I think if they want to keep the team together and actually have a chance for a Super Bowl, they have to sign Lamar. They have to extend him.
Yeah, I think they'll get it done. He's the face of that franchise, basically that team. So yeah, I think they'll get it done. They'll get something worked out. So moving on to a lighter note before we start talking about serious things again in the NFL. Tim Tebow officially signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end.
After 9 years of not playing football. 9 years.
So
but Kaepernick can't get a job?
Do you feel that he's gonna actually play? Like you think he'll see some snaps in the NFL season?
Yeah. I do. I don't think he's gonna be a lot, but I think he's gonna play.
Wow. Well, a little bit of a dark horse for fantasy football. Is that what I'm hearing from you? You're going to pick him up, pick him up.
No. Yeah. Let's let your wife pick him up. If she doesn't win the damn league this year.
Oh yeah, she would I actually mentioned that to her. I was like, "Do you want to pick up Tim Tebow?" And she was just like, "Who?" And I was just like, "Oh." So yeah, like you said, because it's been such a long time that he's hasn't played. He was trying to make baseball a thing, didn't happen. The connection with the head coach, I'm sure, has a lot to do with it. With Urban Meyer. But yeah, anyways, just wanted to throw that out there. I think it'll be interesting to see how much playing time he actually gets. And I didn't know if he was like signed, like he's definitely going to be on the team, or if it's one of those ones where he's got to, show during training camp and then they could always cut him.
Yeah, no, he signed, but like he signed a contract, but they can still cut him if he doesn't make the 53-man roster or 54-man roster this year.
So there is a chance he might not even make it.
Yeah. So there's a chance he might not make it, but I think he's going to make it just because of that connection with Urban Meyer. And I'll throw it out there. I think he's going to get maybe 10 catches for 120 yards.
I see him throwing a touchdown pass, trick play.
Probably.
To Trevor Lawrence.
Or trying to throw a touchdown pass because he can't throw for crap.
Hey, if it's just like in the end zone, one of those like end zone plays, he could pull that off, a little trickery.
Around and then just toss it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. No, I honestly, I see him probably catching 10 passes for 120 yards total all year.
Fair enough. Touchdowns?
No.
No touchdowns.
No.
I see them using him in the red zone. I'd say 2 touchdowns.
He's not big enough.
No? Well, all right.
No. He wouldn't be able to block out any of the linebackers. So I don't think he'll get a touchdown.
All right, fair enough. Won't see any of the kneeling, the
He might get a passing touchdown, like you said, but I don't think he'll get a receiving touchdown.
There you go. Fair enough. Well, all right. Well, moving on then to Julio Jones. So the Atlanta Falcons, he has publicly said on national TV that he wants out. I want out of here, I think was the direct quote by him.
I am out of here.
Oh, I am out of here. Okay. So Julio obviously saying he wants out. That then begins other players from other teams trying to convince him to come to their team, obviously. Jalen Ramsey, as always, for the Rams, tweeting out saying, come to LA. I think DeAndre Hopkins tried to convince them to come to Arizona, which tell you what, like if he goes to Arizona and they have AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins, and Julio Jones, just
And Larry
like
Fitzgerald.
yeah, just kill me now as a Rams fan. Like it would just be ridiculous. So, but how likely which team you think has the best chance? I know we talked about it before, and you said that they want a couple first rounders for them. So he's feeling the Raider love, huh? Thinking the Raiders might have the cap to do it, huh?
I don't think we have the cap to do it, but we can. What we'd probably do is give up probably the 2 first-round picks. We have the draft capital to do it.
Yeah.
Probably give up 2 first-round picks and then cut Carl Nassib so that we could open up the cap space. Like we don't need Carl Nassib. He's going to be the third string defensive end at this point. Like, and we're paying him 18 million this year. Like, why the hell is he still on the team?
Yeah.
But no, the Raiders are actually like number 2 in odds to actually get him, which I'd be ecstatic to have him. I mean, we don't really. I cannot say as a football analyst that we don't need Julio Jones. But as a Raiders fan, I can say we don't need Julio Jones. One, he's not always healthy.
True.
Like he's had some injury issues.
Yeah.
We just got who was it? Not was it? I know we got John Brown, Brian Edwards. We think is going to step up second year. Same with Henry Ruggs, and then we got that. I want to say Will Fuller. Is that who it was?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And then we still have Hunter Renfro. Like, where's he going to fit? Like, he's going to be a great veteran presence, or he would be a great veteran presence. And yeah, Julio Jones, when on the field, stretches the field. He's one of the best receivers to ever play the game. Like, he's absolutely amazing. And I'd love to have him on the Raiders, but I don't think we need him. I'd hate to see him go to a team like the Patriots because I really don't think that Mac Jones is ready for that caliber of a receiver, and I know Cam Newton can't throw to him because Cam Newton throws everything into the ground anymore. So I don't know. As long as he doesn't end up on the Bucks, I'm happy.
Yeah, I was looking at your wide receiver thing, like you said, John Brown that you guys just picked up. Hunter Renfro, Henry Ruggs, Willie Snead.
That's who it is, Willie Snead.
Yeah, so
Willie
those are
Snead's
kind of your
good.
top guys right there.
Well, then we have Brian Edwards as well. Brian Edwards is a big receiver. He's like 6'5", 6'6", something like that. And the dude's he's a beast. He got injured last year and didn't really have a breakout season. A lot of the rookies. You could see a lot of rookies last year have some issues with, like being comfortable in their positions just because of the lack of mini camps and OTAs and everything last year. So it kind of messed up the season for a lot of rookies. Some of them had some breakout stuff, but they weren't huge. Like Justin Jefferson, he just had. Who do the freaking Vikings have? Honestly, like,
Yeah, like Herbert had a really good year.
yeah,
For a rookie quarterback. So, But yeah, definitely. So we'll see. Like you said, as long as he doesn't go to the Bucks, I don't want him to go to the Patriots.
And
The
you don't want
Packers
the
would be
Cardinals.
interesting, huh?
And you don't want the Cardinals.
Yeah, definitely not the Cardinals. But the Packers would be interesting to try to, maybe keep Aaron Rodgers happy. So let's get into that. Aaron Rodgers not reporting to any of the like training stuff or any of the like workouts or anything like that. So
And
um,
Public came out and asked for a trade.
yeah, which, I'm not surprised because that's all the talk has been. So if the Packers still kind of put their foot down and keep, not wanting to do this, does he miss the season? Or, you know, is he going to still play? Like, I know missing out on, I don't know how much money he missed out on with missing the season, but
22
what,
million or something like that.
how much?
22 million.
22 million. So, I mean, what would be your prediction if you had like a crystal ball for Aaron Rodgers going into the season?
I think Aaron Rodgers does not sit out the season. Even if they don't get the trade done, he's going to play simply because if he doesn't play, it's going to be like a Le'Veon Bell situation where his capital for trade just drops because he's a year older. He's now 39. Like
Yeah,
he's 37 right now. He'll sit out. He'll turn 38. And then next season, he'll be 39 years old, sat out a full season. Like, how rusty is he actually going to be?
yeah,
You know?
true.
So I think it would hurt him more than anything to sit out the season, where like a Deshaun Watson could sit out the season and be fine because he's in his fourth year. Aaron Rodgers is in year 16 or 17 or something like that. He needs to play, whether he hates the team or not. He needs to play. But I think getting like a Julio Jones on that team would definitely help him because he'd have Devontae Adams and Julio Jones. He'd have two good receivers to throw to. It would help him feel better and feel like, okay, we can get over the hump of the NFC Championship. I'm still not happy with upper management, but I'll win another Super Bowl in Green Bay.
Yeah,
I honestly think if the Packers get Julio Jones and Rodgers plays, the Packers are the team to beat in the NFL. Plain and simple. Because they kept most of their defense. They kept most of their offense. Like they lost their center,
yeah,
but that's really about it on offense. Like they still have Aaron Jones. They still have Devontae Adams. So, I mean, if the Packers get Julio Jones, they're immediate Super Bowl threats as long as Aaron Rodgers stays.
yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, throwing in Love would be interesting to see. Now that it's been a couple years that he's been sitting behind Aaron Rodgers, is it going to be a Brett Favre situation and he just rolls in like Aaron Rodgers did and just dominates after sitting behind someone of that caliber that they were sitting behind for so long. So it'll be interesting to see. um Aaron Rodgers said that them drafting Love is not a reason why he's wanting out. He said that's not one of the reasons. But you can't speculate or maybe think that maybe there's a little bit of resentment there and there's a little bit of reason why he wants out because of that. So um
Well, I think the big part of it is he went in asking for an extension based on the year that he had. He had 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Like, that's insane.
yeah.
That is so damn good. That is 1 for 10, like one pick for every 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just insane. He had almost 5,000 passing yards. He was over 120 for QBR all year, every single game. Like it was an ungodly year for him.
Yeah, I mean, he won the
And he
MVP
went
for a
asking for an
reason.
extension. He went in asking for an extension. They're like, no. They just laughed in his face. So, like, I mean, if I had played that good and I'd gone to my team and said, hey, I'm not asking for a raise on my 2 years that are left. I'm asking for an extension. Keep me on the team longer and give me this much in my extension. And you tell me no after just playing that and having 3 years in a row of going to the NFC Championship. Yeah, I'd want to bounce too because I wouldn't feel appreciated at all.
Yeah.
The Packers do not appreciate what they have in Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, but I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the game right now, above Tom Brady. Like, yeah, Tom Brady has the winning pedigree. He can go to the Super Bowl. His team is stacked as hell this last year, unlike what he's had with the Patriots. But Tom Brady's good. Don't get me wrong. But Tom Brady has always had that cushion player that he could throw to. You
Yeah.
know, Julian Edelman, the Rob Gronkowski again on the Bucks. You know, he's Mike Evans. He's always had that cushion player that he could throw to. Just over the last 2 years, Rodgers finally got his in Davante Adams. Like, legitimately, when Davante Adams first came into the league and he was playing alongside Jordy Nelson and Randall Cobb, watching my wife being a huge fan, I watched a ton of the Packers games. Watching Davante Adams, I was like, this kid is not going to make it because he dropped passes like worse than Amari Cooper. Like Aaron Rodgers would put it right on his numbers and he'd drop it. And I mean, it was like 3 or 4 passes a game that he was dropping. It was bad. He led the league in drops his first 2 years. And now he's like top receiver in the league. He finally worked things out with Aaron Rodgers, which is good. But he didn't have that cushion. Like, Aaron Rodgers didn't have Davante Adams as that cushion.
You know? That's true. He's had a lot less to work with than someone like Tom Brady. That's for sure. Especially recently, like you said, with having such a stacked team. So yeah, that's definitely true. Well, moving on to another quarterback that has not come to anything that's been going on with the offseason stuff. Deshaun Watson also, you know, doing the same thing, not reporting, not showing up. Things, I feel like in a way things have died down with all of the charges against him and all the stuff that's been going on. I haven't really heard any buzz or any like new things with that. So I don't know if it's slowly but surely going away or if it's just in hiatus until the season starts. Do you still feel like the Texans are gonna do the same thing that the Packers are doing and just kind of put their foot down and being like, well, yeah, we're not trading him? Because a lot of teams put up some good offers to try to get him. I mean, teams put up good offers to try to get Aaron Rodgers as well, and the Packers didn't take it. So again, I guess crystal ball, where do you see Deshaun Watson, his future for when it comes to playing next year?
This upcoming season, I think he sits out. I do. Like, he's not showing up to anything. The team doesn't want it. They've refused to trade him. And honestly, like, the team doesn't lose anything by him sitting out. He does.
Yeah.
He loses like, I think it's like 11 million or something like that by sitting out. But the reason that I did actually look into like the accusations and everything, about a quarter of the girls have backed out because they were told that they would have to testify.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So
And
it is kind of dying down a little bit.
Yeah. So I think it was like 6 or 7 of them have backed out of the lawsuits and said, no, I'm good. I don't want to testify. So that, to me, that says I was just in it for the money and now I have to testify under oath and I can't lie.
Yeah.
So it's telling me that maybe he didn't actually do this.
It seems more and more like he didn't. So which kind of sucks because it just, you know, put a little damper on his career and the, you know, the character of who he is. Because I always liked him, you know, ever since he was at Clemson. So we'll see. I feel like the Texans should have traded him. I feel like they should have gotten what they could have out of him. You know, because it's not like their team is one player away from a Super Bowl. Like they need to rebuild. Like they need to. And I know some people say, well, you have your franchise quarterback, rebuild around him. but I doesn't seem like a lot of people want to come and play for the Texans.
No,
So
because
um,
their front office and their coaches suck.
yeah.
They have a history of shitty coaches, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I think they should have just gotten what they could from it and called it good and split ways. But um, that's just me. Um, so we'll see. I think I could see him sitting out, like you said, and kind of sticking it to the Texans and being like, well, I mean, you had a pretty crappy record with me, but now you're gonna have even a worse record without me. So most of the games that they did win last season, which was very little, was because of him. So, he kind of put the team on his back. Um, all right. Well, was there anything else with NFL that I missed that we need to cover before we move on to playoff stuff?
Um, Not that I know of.
All right, well, let's move on to NBA playoffs and what's been, going on here lately. So let's see, what game should we start off with first?
Don't they have a game going right now? Oh
Uh,
no, it's at 5. Never mind. Oh,
so yeah,
it should start now.
well, yeah, they got one starting, yeah, right now. The
Yeah,
Wizards and the 76ers. So it was really weird, the play-in system that they had this year. I really didn't like it. I thought it was kind of pointless having the bottom teams like play each other in like a little bracket. Like the Wizards like lost the first game, I think, and then they won the second. Somehow they still got in. And
Yeah.
just, huh?
So what it was they lost the game between I believe it's the 7-8 seed. So they I think they were 7 seed and they lost the 7-8 seed game. And then there's the 9-10 seed. So the loser of that game. So the winner of the 7-8 seed is automatically in. And then the loser of that game has to play the winner of the 9-10 game, which was the Pacers. So they played the Pacers, and if the Pacers had beat the Wizards, the Pacers were in. But since the Wizards won and they won in crazy fashion, it was like 145 to 114. It was insane. They got in. So I agree with you that it's kind of dumb how it works. What I think should happen is number 7 seed is in, hands down, they're in, and
Yeah.
I think 8 should play 9. 10 shouldn't have a chance. It's 8 versus 9.
Yeah. That
That's what I think it should be.
yeah.
And only if it's like close, like if they're like within a game or two of like overall record. But I mean, if there's like a 5-game spread, like no, just give it to the 8 seed. Like that's not even worth it. Because it's not cool that if they're 5 games above the record of the 9 seed and they lose, that's not cool to let them in because they didn't win enough games, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Or
didn't.
just keep it to 1 through 8. Like stop the play-in crap.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't like the play-in system at all, and you know, and the defending champ Lakers, almost didn't get in. They almost got eliminated because of the play-in. So the Lakers barely got in because of that. But so let's talk about the first game. The Wizards 76ers right now. The 76ers are ahead in that series 1-0. Um, let's see how many games is it? It's the best of
Best of
7.
7. Yep, all playoff brackets are best of 7 now.
There you go. So, how do you see this one like playing out? Who's gonna come out on top on this one?
Sixers. Like the Wizards have Bradley Beal and Russ Westbrook.
Yeah.
Like the whole series, the 76ers are just going to dominate them. The 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference.
I don't think they're the best, but they're one of the tops.
They're
The Nets are the best.
They were the best record. They're the number 1 team going in.
Yeah, but I mean the net.
The Nets are
Let-
going to dominate
Let's
every. That's
let's
not even a question. Like every other team in here is just fodder to the Nets. It's gonna if the Nets don't make the finals, then they failed, and every player on that team needs to retire.
Oh
But
my
you put,
god.
you put Blake Griffin, DeAndre, whatever his name is, DeAndre Jordan,
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Joe Harris, Kevin Durant, and I think Spencer Dinwiddie's still on the team. You put all those guys together, you better freaking win. Like that is a beyond super team.
Yeah. It really is. And one of their top guys had to like retire because of like the heart problems, Aldridge or whatever.
Marcus Aldridge. Oh yeah, and he was a midseason pickup from the Spurs.
Yeah. So
Like
they would have had him too if he didn't have to retire because of the heart problems. Um,
how the hell is that team fair? Every one of those players has averaged 25 points or more a season.
oh yeah, I definitely agree. So for Wizards 76ers, yeah, I agree with you. I think 76ers will sweep it. I think I mean, the Wizards might get a game because, I mean, Westbrook, is ridiculous as an individual player. I would never ever call Westbrook a team player. he's a very good individual player. And he like broke the record for triple doubles for the Wizards in his first year of playing with them. And um,
He now owns the NBA record for most triple doubles in a career.
yeah, yeah, he officially broke that record this year.
I think he's 30.
It was ridiculous. Um, so yeah, but anyways, I mean, so with having him, I mean, they might be able to get a game, but I think the Sixers, like you said, will pretty much dominate it. Um, the other game that'll be later in about 30 minutes is the Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks, which two teams that haven't made the playoffs in quite a long time playing against each other. Um, the Hawks, freaking Trae Young put the Hawks on his back and hit the little like floater at the end of the time before it went into OT. He saved it from going into OT, and there was like loads of Knicks fans in the stadium because they're allowing a lot of fans in the stadiums now. And there was like a lot of celebrities there, obviously for the Knicks to like support them. And Trae Young just like looks at him and is like, he gives him the shush after he hits that game winner. Um, I've always kind of liked Trae Young in the sense of the way he plays. The Bulls had a chance to get him in the draft and they passed him up, and the Hawks picked him up instead. And I kind of was upset that the Bulls didn't take him. Um, I guess for this one, like with both teams, not being in the playoffs for a while, kind of some young players. Who do you like in this matchup that will officially take it?
I think this is going to be the one series that goes to 7.
Oh
Like,
wow, okay.
I think it's going to go back and forth because, like you said, they're young players, so they're all going to have struggles, but then they're going to have hot games and stuff. And I think Julius Randle's going to have a great second or third game. Like he's just going to blow up. But hold on a second. Hey, will you let them know? Okay. Okay. Or Jeanette's parents are here.
Oh,
But
fair enough. Well,
yeah,
seven games. Who wins game 7?
Knicks. I think the Knicks take
The
it because
Knicks.
it's gonna be in New York, and it's gonna be a huge thing. It's gonna blow up, and just everybody's gonna have a blast, and it's gonna be New York, New York. Like finally, the Knicks are doing something. I can't believe we're talking about the Knicks in the playoffs, though.
Can't believe we're talking about the Atlanta Hawks in the
No,
playoffs.
the Hawks were on the bubble last year. They were. They were only a couple games out of 8th place last year. They were in 9th or 10th place last year. But the freaking Knicks, they won 13 games last year.
Yeah,
They were by far and away the worst team. They have been by far and away the worst team in the NBA for the past decade.
yeah.
Like,
And everyone thought KD was going to go there. And
even with Carmelo Anthony,
yeah,
they were terrible with Carmelo Anthony.
yeah. And everyone thought KD was going to go there in the offseason. And then Kyrie decided to go to Brooklyn instead. And so KD went there. But could you imagine if they would have had all those players on the Knicks instead of the Nets, you know?
With Julius Randle too, like, whoo.
Just would have been a whole different story. But yeah, I agree with you. I see it going all 7 games, but I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think Trae Young's going to kind of rise above the rest, and I think he's going to put the team on his back, and they're going to take it in the 7th game because he already proved it in Game 1 in New York. So I think he can do it again in Game 7.
That was Game 1. Game 7, they got their legs under them. They're going to tear it apart.
We shall see, good sir. We shall see. All right, and then the other matchup for later tonight in a couple hours is the Grizzlies and the Utah Jazz. The Jazz blowing up and taking one of the top spots. I can't remember if they finished first or second in the standings.
First in the entire NBA for the first time in NBA history.
Oh, there you go. So, and they lost Game 1. They're already down. Donovan Mitchell was out for Game 1. He was really pissed because he said he was good to go and wanted to play, but then they wouldn't let him. So now he's saying he's good to go for Game 2, and he's not going to let anyone stop him in playing in Game 2.
He's already cleared.
Do you think it's kind of risky to, bring him back too early? He might re-injure himself. You don't want to risk that on one of your top players.
No, I hate to say this because I love Donovan Mitchell. He's a class act. He's a damn good player, and he's definitely a class act. Really good team guy, and he's always a good sportsman when it comes to other teams. I hate to say this, but he had a LeBron injury. It wasn't a real injury. It was an injury to get him some rest before the playoffs. And the fact that the doctors didn't let him, they showed him out shooting around, dunking the ball, all kinds of stuff before the game. And he was good. Yeah. And then the doctors were like, no, you're not going to play. I think they did that just to kind of make it seem like his injury was real. But I don't believe that his injury was a real injury.
Oh.
So I don't think he's going to re-injure himself. He can't re-injure a fake injury. So no, he's going to come out and he's probably going to score 40 points tonight, and he is going to dominate. And I'm going to tell you right now, the Grizzlies will not win another game.
Nice. All right. I like it. Well, the Jazz have been dominant all season, ever since they who was it? Shaquille O'Neal, I think it was, or was it Barkley that said that they couldn't do it?
No, it was Shaq.
It was Shaq.
Donovan Mitchell. He's like, you're not the guy to take this team
to the next level. Yeah.
He's like, you're a good player, but you're not the guy. And Donovan Mitchell's like, all right, we'll show you right here, buddy.
Yeah. And they have so far. So
number 1 team in the league, and Memphis didn't beat them all year.
Yeah.
They did not beat, they shut down Ja Morant. They shut down everybody on the Grizzlies. And they're going to do it. You look, they were down, I think it was almost 20 points at half. And they fought back. But in the first half, they were 2 for 19 in 3-pointers. They've never shot that bad this entire year.
Yeah.
They struggled. But this game, no. They're going to blow them out, probably by 20 to 30 points.
Nice. Well, I definitely agree. I got the Jazz winning this series. I have a feeling they're going to be going, pretty far until they have to meet the Suns, maybe. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, I think they win this series in dominant fashion, like you said. Now with having Mitchell back, yeah, they're gonna blow them out of the water. So I agree with you. So let's see. So yesterday's games, so the Nets and the Celtics, The Nets end up blowing them out 130 to 108. They take a 2-0 lead in that series. I usually ask you first, but I'll start off first this time. So I think the Nets are gonna blow them out the whole series. It'll be a sweep. Like it won't even be close. I had the Nets basically, going to the finals. So every series I basically have them winning, but we'll see how hard of a road it is going forward. But this matchup is not going to be difficult. They're going to tear them up.
I agree with you. I will say the first game, the Celtics kept it close. Like they put the scare on them in the first game. They didn't do anything the second game. The first game, dude, Jason Tatum and Brown. What's his name? Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Those two gave everything they had in that game. Like Jason Tatum was on fire. He was tearing it up. Like that dude could not miss.
Yeah.
And they still couldn't hold off the Nets. When your two top guys put everything they have on that court and you still can't hold off a team, you're doomed.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics are doomed.
Yeah, just even morale alone is like you're gonna be down. Like even with losing the game that way, the morale is not gonna be there either.
Like they had a lead at one point of I think it was like 28 points. The Celtics had a 28-point lead, and I think that was like the beginning of the third, like early in the third quarter. They had the 28-point lead, and the Nets just came back and just wiped the floor with them the rest of the way. Like it was insane. It wasn't even fun to watch. Like I was kind of excited. I'm like, yeah, the Celtics might actually give these guys a run. Like, don't get me wrong, I love KD, one of my favorite players in the game right now. I absolutely love KD. But to watch a team destroy a super team like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
It just became LeBron, and it just irritates me.
Well, speaking of LeBron, the other game was the Lakers and the Suns, which that series is now tied 1-1. The Suns took the first game. Lakers take the second game 109 to 102. This series should be interesting because I don't know, with the Lakers record, it wasn't that great and they barely got in. They had to play to get in. Now they're going up against the second place ranked team, in that conference. So in the Western Conference, I still see the Suns like dethroning the champs, just because of how great of a season they've been having and how well they've been playing. I don't think it will be like a sweep or anything like that, though. Like I feel like it'll go all 7 games. I feel like this is another series that could go all 7, just because, unfortunately, as much as I hate LeBron, he knows how to put teams on his back and carry them through playoff games. I mean, yeah, they have. Huh?
I said unless he gets poked in the eye.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I have the Suns taking it in 7 games. I feel like they'll dethrone them.
I have the Suns taking it in 6.
In 6 games. All right.
Yeah. I think what hurt him this game was Anthony Davis coming back, because I don't think Davis played in the first game. He may have.
I'm not sure if he played or not.
Let me look. I don't think that he did, but I could be wrong. Oh no, he did. Played 39 minutes and had 13 points.
Well,
so
I got mad at Anthony Davis because one of the plays that he did, he like kicked his foot out as he was like shooting and kicked the guy like right in the groin that was defending him. I was just
so pulled a Karl Malone.
I was like, come on, man. Like that's messed up. Like,
does. Come on. No,
Harden used to do that all the time too, and it pissed me off.
Yeah, but Barkley was little. That's the thing. Like Barkley was not big. He's 6'4", 6'5". Like he was shorter than Jordan. And he played
Yeah.
a power forward. Like he was going against guys that were 6'9", 6'10", you know, and he had to do what he had to do to get through and show how good he really was. He dominated. But back to the Lakers Suns. I'm rooting for the Jazz this year just because I'm in Utah and seeing them play. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love Joe Ingles. Like, how can you not root for a team where one of their top scorers, his nickname is a booger? Bogey. Bojan Bogdanovic, you know?
Yeah.
But I honestly think that the Suns are the team to beat out of the West. I could see the Suns going all the way to the finals. See a Suns Nets finals.
Oh wow. Well, there you go.
I think they're that good.
They are, yeah, surprisingly, because you don't talk about the Suns in the playoffs very often, probably since Charles Barkley. So
Yeah. I mean, I can't say it's surprising. They finally got the piece that they needed in Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul's older, yes, but he knows how to command a team. He knows how to be a general for that team. I mean, they have DeAndre Ayton. They have what's his name? Booker, Devin Booker.
yeah,
They have a solid core. They have a solid team. They just needed that strong veteran presence to help get them over that hump. And Chris Paul coming in was the greatest thing that happened to that team.
yeah,
Because it gave them that veteran presence. It started to give. Devin Booker is probably one of the best shooters in the league behind Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Like he won a 3-point competition against Steph Curry.
yeah.
Like he's good. He just never had the confidence to really play with everything in him. And
Yeah.
Chris Paul coming in gave him that confidence, and now he averaged like almost 30 points a game.
Hey, sometimes you just need that one player to turn the edge for a team, and like you said, a veteran player at that as well. So
Yeah,
it's a double whammy. So the other game is the Mavericks and the Clippers. Right now, Dallas actually leads the series 2-0. Um,
I
Luca
love it.
Luca I can never pronounce his last name. Doncic.
Doncic.
Doncic. he
Chich.
I mean he basically, is taking that team on his back. He's been playing out of his mind. Do you think he's like the MVP for the NBA this year?
Should have been. Hands down should have been. But then you got James Harden whining on the back end. I'm the MVP. I went to another team and still averaged 20 points a game. Yeah, Doncic carried his team. You went to a super team. Shut your mouth.
Did they ever announce like who won the MVP?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they've had it yet. So
No, I think they do that at right before the finals.
but Kawhi, he scored 41 points in that game. Luca scored 39 points.
They're thinking Jokic out of Denver. Nikola Jokic.
That's true. The Joker, he's been really good as well. But
they haven't get it yet. They haven't announced it yet.
yeah,
But he's the front runner.
fair enough. Well, the Clippers, man, where do you go from here? Because then you get Kawhi thinking that he's gonna take you over the edge, and you get what's his name?
Paul George.
Paul George. Yep, you get Paul George, and everyone kind of thinks, okay, the Clippers are the team to beat, but they could lose out, again like they did last year and be out of the playoffs. I mean, is it just because too much pressure on Kawhi? I mean, he's been playing pretty well, or does he just not have enough around him to be able to do what he needs to do? I mean, everyone thought, as well as he dominated with the Raptors, that he'd be able to, do the same thing with the Clippers, but it hasn't come to fruition. So
Paul George is not Siakam. Siakam is a much better player than Paul George.
oh, really?
Paul George is a great defender. Don't get me wrong; he's an amazing defender. But offensively, Siakam's better, and Siakam's still with the Raptors.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard had a really great cast around him, and even though he's got a good cast around him with the Clippers, there is a such thing as the Clippers curse. They're always in the Lakers' shadow.
That is true.
No matter what they do. Like, they're not going to win with Kawhi Leonard. They're not going to win with Paul George. The only way that I see them winning is Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and LeBron James.
Yeah, true.
That's the only way I see them winning. Like, they're getting older. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are both getting older. They've been around for a while. They can't keep up with everybody.
Well,
and honestly, Doncic he's the next Jordan. He's the white Jordan. I'm telling you, like, Doncic is amazing. I liked him coming out. Like, when the Mavericks drafted him, I was like, holy crap. Like, I was hoping that somebody else would be able to get him, but
yeah,
I've never liked the Mavericks. I've liked Dirk Nowitzki, and that's it. Other than that, the Mavericks, I hate Mark Cuban, but he's such a good player, and he's got a good team around him. Like, Porzingis is good. Like, they have what's his name? I can't even remember his name right now. They actually have a really good roster, and being able to see. Let me look here. Dorian Finney-Smith.
Trey Burke.
Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. is who I was thinking about.
Yeah.
That dude, he shoots like crazy, and he's accurate. He's good. They actually have a decent team around them.
So did the Mavericks take this series, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I think the Mavericks are taking this series. I think the Mavericks are pissed about how their series ended last year, and they're going to come out and fire, and they're going to laugh in the faces of all the Clippers fans, because all the Clippers fans are freaking bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we got Kawhi. Let's be a fan now.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Mavericks take it. They're more hungry, I feel like. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. All right, the next series, the Bucks and the Heat. Right now, the Bucks are ahead in the series 2-0. The Bucks, they're kind of known for choking in the playoffs, and the Heat made it all the way to the finals last year as kind of the surprise team. Is the Magic over for the Heat? Like, have they lost the magic that they had last year, or are the Bucks gonna kind of fly under the radar since they're not talking about them as much as they used to the past 2 years? Because the Bucks was the it team in the East. The past couple of years they had the best record, but this year they had other teams that kind of took it over from them. So what's the storyline going on with this series?
Jimmy lost his magic.
Jimmy Buckets, no longer Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Buckets, yeah. No, I honestly think that the Bucks are going to take this series. I don't think it's going to be a sweep. I think it'll be a 5-game series. I think the Heat will take the next game, and that'll be it. So they got blown out in the second game. Bad.
They did. Yeah, they got destroyed.
Yeah, like, it's like they didn't even show up to play. It's like, hey, we're gonna put in our high school players first. Like, go to town on them. It was terrible. Like, I turned that game off in the first quarter. It was that bad.
Yeah, I see the Bucks. Giannis is gonna keep putting the beating on them, and I think the Bucks will take the series, and that'll be 2 teams that made it to the finals that I feel like are going to be eliminated in the first round.
Get out, son.
So, we'll have 2 new teams going to the finals because of that. And then the other series is the Nuggets and the Trailblazers. Right now, that series is tied at 1 game apiece. Um, Joe Kick, like you were saying, they call him the Joker, kind of MVP runner. He's kind of been dominating. Sorry, and then Lillard, as always, putting the Blazers on his back, not wanting to go to a super team, and that's what he's known for saying, that he doesn't want to leave just to win a title somewhere. So good on Lillard, but I mean, do you really see them going anywhere, with it? I mean, to me, I think the Nuggets win the series.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Joker is strong, definitely, but dude, Lillard is Batman. Watching Lillard play, I don't think there's a single player in the entire NBA that has more heart than Damian Lillard.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like, that guy puts everything on the line every single night.
Yeah.
And he plays as hard as he possibly can, no matter what, no matter who he's playing. And watching him, like, dude, he's like 6'1". He's little. But watching him, like, just run up on somebody that's like 6'5", 6'6", and just draining a three right in their face, like legit, like right here, that's beautiful to watch. And he'll do it from 35 feet away.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like in the All-Star game, watching him and Curry go back and forth, shooting like 35 to 40-foot shots. That was amazing. Like, they just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I think Lillard missed first, but I think they put in like 4 each before he missed. And it was just run up, shoot a long ball. And they were making him. It was like, he's just as good of a shooter as Steph Curry.
Yeah.
And I think he plays with more heart than Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry kind of lost a little bit of heart because he's won a couple championships, So he's kind of backed off. He's like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm happy. Where we got now Damian Lillard,
who's still hungry.
Is still hungry and wants to prove that Portland can win a championship, and he can do it without a super team.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be able to, but hey, good on him for wanting that and trying, like I said, I give him mad props, but I think the Nuggets will take this series, especially with Joker being, MVP candidate. They have too much firepower.
I'll say it's going to go to 7 games, and I think the Nuggets will take it in 7. But the 7th game will be close. I think the 7th game will go into overtime.
Oh wow. one of those type of games.
Yeah. Because they're good. They're matched up really well.
Yeah. I think that's all the matchups, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's all of them.
As far as I can tell. So we'll see how these matchups play out, and see the next round. Oh,
What's going on?
I don't know. I hear like a little bit of an echo going on here for some odd reason.
Oh, is that me?
I don't know. It could have been me. I had a phone call coming in, and then I hit decline, but it shouldn't have.
Did it turn your volume up or something?
No. It's really weird. Might have to end it here, finish recording, and then start a new one just so that way it'll not have this echo problem. So let's take a quick break right here, and I'll finish recording. All our YouTube people can still see us. All right, let me take a look here. Record, invite friends. Yeah, that was weird since I was getting a phone call. I don't know why I decided to do that. All right, let's try that. Let's try that again. I don't hear an echo.
Neither do I.
Okay. All right. So it might have been my phone. Anyway, so to wrap things up then, we'll talk about NHL hockey real quick with the playoffs going on with that. Let's see here.
Penguins and Islanders are playing right now. Penguins are leading 3-2 in the game.
But
Why did we just change it 2-0?
but the Islanders are winning the series 3-2. So if the Islanders take this game, then the series is over. But the Penguins trying to push it to a game 7.
Everybody say hi to my father-in-law.
Hello.
Yeah, so they're up 3-2 right now in the game, but they have to win to stay in. Otherwise, the Islanders win. Everything's going like 6-7 games. It's crazy.
Yeah. We can get to that to the other after. So Panthers and Lightning, they play tonight as well. Tampa Bay, the defending champs, are up in the series 3-2. So they could close out the series tonight. And then Golden Knights versus the Wild. Vegas is up 3-2 in that series as well. So Vegas could also end the series tonight. So it's crazy how Vegas, like ever since they've been created as a team, they've been in the playoffs every year. It'll be interesting to see if they can get over that hump ever since they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, their first year of being a team. They haven't been able to make it back. What do you like their chances of being able to do something this year?
I don't think they'll win it, but they're going to win this series, of course. But I don't think they'll make all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. I like to see them go because it'd be cool to see such a young team actually win. Because I don't think when they went, they didn't win, right?
Well, no, the first year that they were created, they lost to the Capitals in the finals.
Yeah, your team terrible.
Well,
hey, whose team is still in the playoffs?
Not terrible, because we won, but
whose team's still in the playoffs?
This is true. You are correct. Looks like
they're probably going to lose to the Islanders anyway. So
it looks like the games from yesterday, the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. The Maple Leafs won that game. They're up in the series 3-1. And then the Hurricanes and the Predators. The Hurricanes won in overtime. The Hurricanes are leading that series 3-2 as well, so they could potentially finish out that series.
Carolina going all the way, man. Like they have to get past the Lightning, of course, but I could definitely see Carolina going all the way.
I tell you what, the Avalanche is a team to look out for because
they're in the West. They're in the West.
I know, but I'm saying in general, they swept the Blues 4-0, and they scored at least 5 goals in every game. All 4 games, they scored at least 5 goals. Like that's insane. Like that they scored at least 5 goals in every game in all 4 games. And then of course, like you were saying, the Capitals lost their series to the Bruins 3-1. So the Capitals are out of the series again. Well, out of the playoffs. So the Bruins were the first team to kind of move on in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Colorado and the Bruins are the first 2 to move on.
Yeah. So we'll see. A lot of them are going to be wrapping up here soon if they can win the sixth game here. If not, then there's going to be a lot of game sevens in the first round.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see like which games are going to push through to game sevens and which ones are all just going to wrap up all of a sudden, for the second round. I'm trying to see if there's some of them that I missed. I think I went over all of them. We had the Oilers and the Jets. Did that one wrap up?
No, they're Toronto. No, let me see. Oilers. Yeah, Winnipeg won 4-0. So they swept.
So yeah, the Jets end up sweeping as well.
Yeah.
Going into 3 overtimes. Man. Like the Oilers did not want to give that game up. So yeah, going into freaking 3 overtimes. A lot of overtime games in these hockey games too. It's actually been a very competitive playoff, to be honest. I mean, even with the Capitals losing their series, I mean, obviously me and Mel watched all the Capitals games when they were playing. They were in a lot of those games. They kind of, just, they'd be up by a goal or they'd be up by 2 goals, and then they would just slack off on defense and it would go into overtime, and then we would lose it in overtime. Almost all the games went into overtime. Well, at least the first 3 went into overtime. So, if you're always letting the team have a chance to win in OT, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of that. So, we'll see where the Capitals go in the offseason. Ovechkin, is saying that he wants to retire as a Capital, so he wants a new contract because his contract is up. I can't see the Capitals not giving him what he wants. Like he's the face of the franchise, so I feel like Ovechkin will stay a Capital. I think they'll do whatever they have to do and pay him whatever to keep him on the team.
Yeah. They'd be dumb to let him go.
Well, I mean, they were dumb to let the head coach go after they won the Stanley Cup, so I wouldn't be surprised if they, did something dumb again, when it comes to that. Alrighty, well, I think that wraps up all the hockey stuff when it comes to that with how the games are going. So we'll see tonight 3 games, 3 potential series that could be over and done with. Let's see, was there anything else that we needed to cover, or anything else that you wanted to talk about more in depth?
No, just Earl Thomas still not signed.
That poor guy. I just don't see it happening. I mean, they're already starting training camps and stuff, wouldn't you be already on a team if you were going to be on a team?
I think it's just retirement time, man. Honestly.
I think so as well. Well, we appreciate everyone listening. We appreciate all the likes on YouTube, all the views. We appreciate all the listens. All the places to find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff. So we don't have to go through all that spiel. We will see.
Hold on. Who won the pop bet for the draft?
Yeah, we talked about that last time when we went over the draft.
Still putting it in.
You're just reminding everyone, I
just wanted to flex on you.
Oh, okay. You don't need any reason to do that. You can do that whenever you want. I mean, I'm not really working with much here, so I got
just a little bit
skinny arms. But all right, well, we appreciate everyone. We love everyone. Hopefully maybe we'll try to do one again next week. We'll see with the NBA playoffs going on and everything, and NHL playoffs. And we can go more in depth into the NHL stuff. We kind of covered more NFL stuff and talked a little bit more NBA this time, but we'll see. We might go more in depth with that. But until then, we will catch you guys on the flip side.
Later.
Peace.